So what is going on YouTube? This is Ray Plays here today, and I'm going to be bringing you guys a anti-meta deck profile. So this isn't like your normal anti-meta deck profile. This is actually like a deck profile that is so good against the meta right now that it could be a meta, but I'm going to call it an anti-meta deck. So it's actually going to be a UA deck, and this is going to be like my updated UA deck profile, because this deck is so good against the meta right now. So yesterday at the locals, I ended up going 2-2, but it wasn't with this deck. It was with a UA deck, and it was this one, but it didn't have some cards that just came in yesterday in the mail that I wasn't able to use. So, hopefully next week will be better. I'll make sure to let you guys know how it goes. But I lost to a Ritual Beast deck and a Hero deck. Now, the Hero deck that I lost to, I played him, I feel like 100 times. And it's a pretty even matchup. I just haven't figured out how to get over some of his cards. I can get over Dark Claw. Acid is the only card I can't get over a lot of times. But so here's the deck profile for you guys. I run 3 midfielder. Midfielder is pretty much just what you have to get out to get your deck going. It's the only level 4 in this deck. Level 4 UA monster. So you have to get this out to get going pretty much. But there's plenty of ways to get this card out, so that's a good thing. We have 3 Mighty Slugger. This is like the Armades of the deck. When it attacks, cards or effects cannot be activated. I don't know why it's not focusing. There you go. So with the UAs, you can special summon them out from like bouncing them back. So if this is in the attack position on the field, I can send it back to my hand to special summon Mighty Slugger. And you can do that once per turn per card. So like I can special summon Mighty Slugger once like that during that turn, and I can special midfielder once that way that turn. So we run 3 Mighty Slugger, 3 midfielder, then I run 2 Perfect Ace. Now this card is pretty much you negate any card or effect on your opponent's turn by discarding 1 card. So, and you destroy it. So if your opponent sends a monster out and this effect activates, you can discard a card, negate the activation of that effect, and destroy it. So that gets rid of their monster like that fast. So that's really good. I run 2 Blockbacker. Now Blockbacker's effect is when your opponent special summons a monster, you can... I don't know why it's not focusing again. Come on. Okay. When your opponent special summons a monster, you can change the battle position and negate their effects. So this helps so much when your opponent gets out like one of their boss monsters, and then you just change the battle position and negate their effects, and then they're SOL. So run 2 Blockbacker. That's good to get out first turn, especially like against Ritual Beast or something like that, because you don't want their effects to keep going through. And then you run 1 Playmaker. Playmaker is not the best card in this deck, but it does help out with an OTK, so that's the reason I run it. Pretty much this card can lose 800 attack, and you can put that 800 attack on a different UA monster, and that monster will keep that attack at stacks. So put this on Mighty Slugger, and Mighty Slugger can do some real damage. Then we run 1 Goalkeeper. Pretty much Goalkeeper on your opponent's turn, you can target another UA monster you control, or Goalkeeper itself, and it can't be destroyed once during that turn. So that helps just stall, and just keep your UAs out. Then we run 2 Tour Guides. Now the reason I run this is because I have a level 3 XC, MX Saber Invoker, and that card will help get out midfielder. So this is a good card to draw first turn, if you need to get out midfielder. And then we run 1 Summoner Monk, just another card to get midfielder out. You discard a spell card, and then you can special summon a level 4 monster from your deck, and it can't attack that turn. So that's it for the monsters. I'll go over some plays at the very end of the video. Then we run for spells. We run 3 UA Power Jersey, which is like the most OP card of the deck if you put it on Mighty Slugger. You equip it to a UA monster, and then it gains 1,000 attack and defense. And also, if it battles an opponent's monster and destroys it, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. And if the equipped monster destroys a monster by its attack, you can make a second attack during the battle phase. And so that right there is like OP. And then if this card is attached to a monster and the monster gets bounced back to your hand, Power Jersey goes back to your hand too. It doesn't go to the graveyard. Well, it goes to the graveyard, then back to your hand. So if there's an effect where it gets banished, it won't go back to your hand. But if it goes to the graveyard, it goes straight back to your hand right away. So this card is so good. And the only thing about it, you can't, if it's equipped to a monster, if you don't bounce it back and it stays on the field on your opponent's turn, it will stay there for your opponent's turn. But then on your next turn, when you draw in your standby phase, the card gets destroyed and so does the monster. So you don't want to keep this equipped for too long. It's really risky if you do that. 3 Power Jersey, 3 UA Stadium is the field spell card of the deck. And if a UA monster is normal summon, you get to search for a UA monster. And when a UA monster is special summon once per turn, all monsters currently on the field gain 300 attack. So, or 500 attack, so that helps out a lot. We have 3 Rotas, Reinforcement of the Army, helps get out midfielder. We have 3 the Monarch Stormforth. This helps get rid of a boss monster because you contribute their like boss monster for a level 5 of yours or something like that, and that gets people really ticked off. 2 Terraforming. This card just to get your field spell card out. 2 Reasoning. Now this card is a card that not a lot of people know about. So your opponent declares a monster level, and you reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a monster. And then, if that monster is the same level as the one declared by your opponent, you send all reveal cards to the graveyard. All of them. Everything. So, you would lose a lot. But then, if not, you special summon that reveal monster, and then you also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So, no matter what, you're sending cards to the graveyard. You start flipping through your cards, you know, and then right when you get a monster, you get a special summon it if they didn't call the right level out. So this card's really good in this deck because there are so many monsters that have different levels. You know, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 1 to 8. So that's like a lot of different levels, and they have to choose one. And I also have 2 level 3s. So then we run 1 MST. This is just pretty much to get rid of Vanity's Emptiness. Usually you can get rid of it pretty quick just by like negating it with Perfect Ace, but Mystical Space Typhoon is your backup for that. Then we have 1 Spring of Rebirth. This card will focus. Well, it's increase your life points by 500 every time monsters return from the field to the owner's hand. So every time you bounce back one, you get to gain 500 points. You get to gain 500 life points. So that card's good just to beef up your life points. The Warrior Returning Alive, you get to add 1 Warrior type monster from your graveyard to your hand. Now later in the game, if you can't draw any level 4s and you can't even normal summon, but you have one in your graveyard, Warrior Returning Alive is a great card to use. 1 Axe of Despair to beef up Mighty Slugger. You know, if you're trying to get an OTK in, this card will help a lot. So, and I've like tested that a lot, and Axe of Despair really does help this deck. Then we have 1 Forbidden Chalice, and this is just to get rid of like a boss monster effect on their side of the field. Usually you'll be able to overpower anything with Power Jersey and Axe of Despair, so you don't have to worry about how much attack they have. Then we have 1 Snatch Steal. So these are the cards I didn't have during the tournament, and these are pretty much like what made the deal for me. Like this is what would have like helped me win the game. So Snatch Steal Snatch Steal is so good in this deck, and it helps out so much with the OTK, and I felt like I would have been able to use it yesterday and actually won the two matches I lost. So that's it for the spells. And then for the traps, we only run 4. You can run Royal Decree in this deck and it will help, but a lot of decks aren't using lots of traps, so Royal Decree wouldn't be so good right now. We run 1 Mirror Force. So that's just to, if they get really beefed up and you're not beefed up, this will help. 1 Bottomless, if they're using Cleave Force, this obviously is freaking amazing. 2 Battle Guard Howling. So this came in the Hero Strike deck or whatever, the starter deck. I don't know if you guys know what it does, but it's pretty much, come on, I need to get this card focused because this card is really good. Okay, when a warrior type monster you control is targeted for an attack or by an opponent's monster effect, you target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the face-up monster you targeted with this card, and if you do, return it to the hand. So let's say they have, like, if they had Summoner Monk on their side of the field and they attack one of my monsters, that all my monsters are pretty much warriors, all my UAs are, I could use this, okay, and say they have like a they have like one of their boss monsters, like Super Dreadnought, Royal Cannon, Gustav Max, or whatever. I can target that card. They would lose 3,000 because that's this attack, and it would go back to their extra deck. So that's how you get rid of boss monsters. And this actually saved me in a duel last night. It helped so much, and I was like just so happy I had it in my deck, because if I didn't, I would have lost. So Battle Guard Howling is definitely a good card in this deck. And so like some combos that I would do is like when you normal summon a tour guide, you get to search for your other tour guide, and then you get to XZ summon for MX Saber Invoker, and then you detach one material from Invoker, so that'd be tour guide. You send it to your graveyard, and you get a special summon a midfielder in defense position. So that's 2 monsters you get out just from one card. So that's like a really good card to have in this deck. So there's this effect, if you guys can read that or not, because camera doesn't want to focus today. But once per turn you can detach one XYZ material from this card, and then special summon a level 4 Earth Warrior or Beast Warrior type monster from your deck in face up defense position. Destroy it during the end phase. Now, usually you can bounce it back so it won't be destroyed. That's like when I use it. Then I run a Gaga Cowboy. This is good if you just really need to like do a little bit more damage, and I don't know, the Gaga Cowboy I don't use too much, but it's a good card to have. 1 Black Ship of Corn. Obviously, this card is a good card. You can get rid of one of their monsters that they have that you really don't want on the field. And then 1 Utopia in case you need a stall or something, number 39. So that's it for the extra deck. I wish I had Castell, and I want to get number 85 Crazy Box, because those will help a lot. So yeah, pretty much another combo that you can do is when you get midfielder out, you can special summon Mighty Slugger. And when you special summon Mighty Slugger, if you have UA Stadium on the field, it will gain 500 attack, so it will be at 2,800 right now. Then you can put a power jersey on, then it has 3,800. And now if your opponent has like a monster in attack position on accident, let's say Tour Guide. Tour Guide has 1,000 attack. If Mighty Slugger attacks Tour Guide, 3,800 to 1,000 would normally do 2,800, because power jerseys on the field, it does double, so it would do 5,600 damage. And then if it destroys it, and the effect won't go through, they can't activate Mirror Force or something. That's 5,800 damage. 5,600 damage I just did, and then I can attack again because of Power Jersey's effect for an OTK. This is literally how easy an OTK is. 2 cards in Stadium. So I mean, OTKs are so good in this deck. And say they have 2 monsters on the field and you won't be able to beat them. Snatch Steal one of them, and then boom, you got an OTK. This is why I wish I would have had Snatch Steal during the tournament. It would have helped me out so much, but I didn't. But we'll see how next week goes. I got a little salty about losing to Heroes. But we'll see how next week goes. I think I'll do a lot better, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. I'm going to post a unboxing some Secret Forces packs. I'll post that tomorrow. You guys can check that out. I hope you guys like this anti-meta deck profile, and let me know what you guys think could make this deck better, or why you think this isn't an anti-meta deck profile, or just anything like that. So, hope you guys liked the video. Please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.